What's good, YouTube? What's good, Twitch? It's your boy Dgotsauce, man. And we're back with another live stream. This is episode number 24. And boy, do we got some topics to talk about today. I appreciate you guys for tuning in with me all the time. Like I say, I hope y'all are having a blessed day. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream on your way in, and make sure you guys leave a like on your way out. Thank you for tuning in with me. I appreciate y'all viewership. We got some stuff to talk about today. Today was a great day for me. Very productive day. I just worked again. Worked today. Worked. Then spent the rest of my time with my kids and my family, and it was a beautiful, beautiful night. Now we are here trying to get some content out for people because there's some interesting stuff going on out there in the world. Every single day there's something going on. I mean, I love it. I love it. There's never anything to not bring up to the people to have the conversation about. There's never nothing. We always seem to find something to talk about. And this first topic that we want to get into is a topic that I haven't brought to this channel yet. I haven't brought this to this channel because, I didn't think it really would make that much noise. But as the more that I looked into it and the more that I realized how crazy this actual situation is, I was like, man, we got to bring this to the live stream. This is about a mayor in Dalton. A mayor in Dalton. Her name is Tiffany Henyard. And apparently she's been running it like a mob boss over there. This is insane, people. We're going to watch this video and we're going to break down exactly what's going on in Dalton, how the people are actually feeling in Dalton about their own mayor, and all the pretty much chaos that she is bringing to her own city, her own little town. It's insane. It's insane. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream. I appreciate y'all for viewing and tuning in with me. Let's get into this video, man. This is our mayor of Dalton, Illinois, Tiffany Henyard.
Nobody? Trustee? Nobody? Somebody knows something.
Believe it or not, the woman that you just witnessed dressed as the crime kingpin Nino Brown from the 1991 Wesley Snipes movie, New Jack City, is an elected official who is now being investigated by the FBI. Now, this week, federal investigators confirmed that they are looking into Tiffany Henyard. She's the mayor of a small town in Illinois who has been accused of misusing taxpayer funds and more. And as a result of that, basically throwing the town into unmanageable debt. The situation is so bad that bankers are looking to repossess police cruisers from the town because she has failed to make payments to the lenders for the vehicles. But there's a lot more. So first, let's start off with who Henyard is.
Have y'all ever heard of a police car getting repossessed? Have y'all ever heard of that? I heard of the neighbor down the street having to get their car repossessed. You know what I'm saying? I heard of that. But I never heard of a police station getting their cars repossessed. This is insane, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue.
Henyard wears two hats in local government. As the Dalton mayor, it's known as the Village of Dalton, she takes home more than $46,000 in base pay. And as the supervisor of Thornton Township, she makes more than $200,000 a year, records show. She makes more money. She's the mayor of a small town of 20,000 people. She makes more money than our members of Congress. Like, let that sink in for a second. And in regard to her
250K as a mayor and supervisor. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. She's making some very, very good money as a mayor.
dressing as Nino Brown, she reportedly signaled for a DJ to play Rihanna's "Be Better Have My Money" while fully committing to her Nino Brown persona, even carrying a small stuffed dog reminiscent of a scene from the movie. Now, look, I've got no problem with that. If you wanna have fun, if you wanna be a little wacky in the way you do your job, I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with you hiring a DJ to do musical cues with taxpayer money, though, especially when there's a deficit in the town and now they're in a lot of debt. Now, here's some more information on the village of Dalton. In Dalton, which shares a border with Chicago, about 15% of families live in poverty, census records show. Burdened with some of the highest property taxes in Cook County, homeowners feel the full brunt of the tax burden since there's little commercial or industrial development in the town. That is an important fact for you guys to remember as I give you more details about this story, right? Because they don't have a lot of business going on in this small town. So in order to generate tax revenue, the town has high property taxes. So whatever businesses they have operating out of this town, you want to protect those businesses and you want to ensure that they're paying their taxes, right? Because that's another way that you generate tax revenue. Again, keep that in mind. Now, the small town is currently in debt to the tune of $7 million. I know that when we talk about government debt, we typically talk about the federal debt, which is
way higher. The federal debt is way higher. It's in the trillions, y'all. So this 7 million to a little town in Illinois is not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Let's continue.
Is far higher than that. But remember, we're just talking about a small town of 20,000 people. So $7 million in debt is a big deal. And so there are all sorts of allegations against Henyard's leadership. For instance, the allegations include her funneling taxpayer money to her cancer charity, which appears to not be a real charity, using taxpayer money on hair and makeup prior to public appearances. I'm on camera every day. TYT does not pay for my hair and makeup. Trips to Atlanta, Austin, and New York City, on which she frequently flew first class and stayed in ritzy hotels like the Four Seasons, taken during Henyard's term, ran the city over $67,000, according to records obtained by a local news station, WG.
This lady has the entire opportunity to become a very good and strong and powerful and very successful woman. But instead she chooses to do it the dumbest way possible, pretty much. The dumbest way possible. The way that she is running this town, I mean, it's kind of like a dictatorship type of thing. It's a dictatorship. Whatever she says goes. It don't matter how much it costs of your money that you paying to the government. You're thinking that it's going to the government, or it's really going to her. She's using your money, and she's going on first class flights to wherever she wants to travel to. She's eating at the best restaurants in the city. She is renting police officers as security guards. And now we hear that the police department's cars are getting repoed. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. This woman is explaining it very well. I already know a little bit. I know a good amount about this story already, but I really wanted to bring it on here because this would speed everybody up at one time and I could just give my opinion right away. So let's continue on this.
GN9, misusing police services 24/7 as her own personal security detail, which has led to the officers invoicing the town a ton of overtime hours. And basically, it's costing a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars for the town. Using taxpayer money to lease a Chevy Tahoe for herself. Documents show that she also overpaid for it. So the Dalton Board of Trustees has called her out for a lot of this. And Henyard tried to, well, lie about it. So here's the moment where she was confronted about the Chevy Tahoe that she leased for herself.
I sat here and looked at a lease that y'all was paying $149,000 for one of them trucks. You make absolute, that's like when you 19 years old and you go get a car and the interest rate 27%. That makes absolutely no sense. You're not making great finance, excuse me?
Please state facts.
But let me tell you, here it is, dated December 27th, 2022, the cash price of a 2023 Chevy Tahoe, $93,216.71. Interest and APR, $55,929.49. Total lease price, $149,146.20.
Yo, that is a lot of money for a lease of a car. I mean, at that point, you might as well buy the Chevy Tahoe. At that point, you might as well buy the Chevy Tahoe. That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. And this is how dumb people get caught in these bad deals. This is a terrible deal. Terrible.
Tell me if it's not facts, because your signature is all on it.
Sheesh.
I don't see that.
Okay, but you want me to pass?
I don't.
We might have millions of people watching this show, but you can be the difference maker, because we just need 1% of our audience to be paid members, and then this show can.
Don't see that? Your name is on the document. Like, you signed the document. Okay, all right, okay.
That's crazy.
Henyard also recently sparked further outrage by proposing a new law that would cap the next mayor's salary at $25,000 unless she remains in that role. That was reported by a local Fox affiliate, Fox 32.
Well, who signed off on that? Y'all let this woman come in and finesse the whole town. She finessed in everybody. What do y'all think? What's going on here? This is madness, honestly.
An Illinois Answers Project and Fox 32 investigation has also found that while in office, Henyard has funneled thousands of dollars in taxpayer money to a private foundation that bears her name. But the foundation seems super sketchy. This is probably part of the reason why the FBI is now looking into her use of taxpayer money. In a September 2022 meeting, Henyard and the township board voted to give $10,000 to her foundation, which claims to help people with cancer. Records show the foundation's paperwork was filed with the state the same day that the township payment was approved. Now, it's called the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. A month ago, the Illinois Attorney General began investigating the charity, halted any more contributions to the charity, and also noted that the so-called charity failed to file financial documents showing how she spent the money. And so Henyard spent thousands of taxpayer dollars for a group bicycle ride to Springfield in support of a breast cancer bill, Henyard said in videos taken during the trip. But the bill was never formally filed. There was no bill, and state lawmakers weren't even in session. So days after receiving that $10,000 donation,
they need to get her out of there ASAP. ASAP. She is going to be the downfall of this town and community. And shout outs to her for getting in that position, but she is fumbling it bad. You looking worse than Biden out there. Um, she's getting she's getting she's getting investigated by the FBI, and she is doing all of this nonsense. I want to really know what exactly is running through her mind at this. She thinks everything is really cool. She thinks what she's doing is fine. That's not okay. This is not okay, Tiffany Henyard.
To her alleged charity, Henyard carried out that group bike ride in support of her charity, and she spent more than $10,000 on it. So this was another investigation done by WGN9 News, and they looked through a Freedom of Information request. They looked at credit card records and they saw what she had spent the money on. They found that she had spent the money on hotels along the route of that bike ride. So look, I could literally use up the entirety of this show and maybe even tomorrow's show in doing deep dives into all the different allegations against Henyard. And there are a lot, which is why I'm happy that the FBI is now looking into this. But there are two things that I want to do or have a closer look at, okay? The first thing is this allegation that business owners are being retaliated against when they're not donating to her campaign or when they're not supportive of her leadership. So let's take a look at this gentleman who is a small business owner in the town. His name is Lawrence Gardner. He owns a U-Haul rental and trucking business in South suburban Dalton. And he says he went to the FBI several months ago, frustrated that the village of Dalton would not renew his business license. Gardner says he's been harassed and his business raided and shut down by Dalton police. Gardner believes it's retaliation after he refused to make a donation to a civic event sponsored by Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. And look, if it was just one small business.
You see the amount of power that she is abusing? Who does she think she is? Who does she think she is? Why is she abusing this power? She's looking crazy out here. This is sad, man. This is sad. You have a lot of people that probably was looking up to you, trying to make sure that you're good, and you doing people dirty like this. Your own people that voted for you. This makes no sense.
Business owner making this allegation, I'd say you should investigate it, but it's one guy. I mean, who knows if it's true? But multiple small business owners from the town have come forward with similar allegations. And remember, having tax revenue coming from the small businesses that currently exist in Dalton is incredibly important, especially when the town is now $7 million in debt allegedly because of Henyard's spending and recklessness with taxpayer funds. Gardner reported Henyard to the FBI and told a local Fox affiliate the following, quote, "I talked to a couple of agents and I explained to them what's going on. I gave them all of my paperwork to show them what was happening in court and what was happening in Dalton. And they told me they were investigating and would be in touch with me." So that was the first indication that the FBI was in fact investigating Henyard. The local news also spoke to other business owners, including one restaurant owner who says that his business license wasn't renewed after he refused to make another campaign donation to Henyard. He had previously donated $3,200 to Henyard's campaign, but he didn't want to renew his contribution, and he claims that he was retaliated against as a result of that. And then a trustee by the name of Kiana Belcher alleges that former police chief Robert Collins basically admitted to being directed by the mayor to target certain individuals. That is what she's claiming. That is something the FBI, I'm hoping, is going to look into as well.
So pretty much, if your business did not donate to her fund, she is forcing the police to go and shut you down. This makes no sense, y'all. That is an abuse of power. These people just don't care to vote for you anymore because they realize how you're moving. And it's just sad. It's just sad. I mean, we don't even have to talk about this anymore. There's much more stuff that's going on. She's now messing with people's money, and she's been taking advantage. She's been taking advantage of her position. She gotta go. Tiffany Henyard gotta go. She gotta go. It's time to go. Y'all need a new mayor down in Dalton. Shout outs to them though. Shake my head. Shake my head. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. I appreciate y'all viewership. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream. We got some great topics to talk about today. And we're gonna just keep this show going, man. We're gonna just keep this show going. I appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Next up, man, we got an interesting topic that is always controversial, but this is something that we don't want to actually see. We don't want to see this stuff. We understand that the LGBTQ community is out there. Sorry. We understand that the LGBT community is out there. And there's nothing that the law, the government can do to stop it from happening. There's nothing that anybody can do to stop it from happening because it's meant to happen. This stuff was meant to happen. But the thing that is sad about this particular story, this transgender was a 16-year-old. A 16-year-old confused kid. That's what we're going to call this. And she was bullied at school. She was bullied. And that's one thing that we don't want to see. We don't want to see them get hurt. We don't want to see them get bullied. We don't see transgenders get harmed. They're human beings at the end of the day. They're human beings. And although they might not have the same mindset as you or I or whatever the case may be, they still deserve to have rights unless they are doing something that they should have their rights taken away, like a crime. Some people feel how they feel about this, but this one is right here is a sad story because this 16-year-old was probably a confused kid. And they decided that they were going to go to school one day and, they got in a dispute with some other kids. Apparently, they might have been bullying him or her. And they ended up having a fight. And this woman is now dead because of it. I'm not sure if it's a boy or girl, but her name is Nex Benedict. So I'm guessing it was a boy that transitioned into a girl. But we're going to tune into this video. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys think. If this was okay or if this should have happened. Let's continue.
Across the nation, questions arise tonight as the case of an Owasso teen who died a day after a fight at school makes national headlines.
T News has been on this story since the very beginning. Tonight, we're getting more details on the investigation into Nex Benedict's death. I'm Naomi Kitch.
I'm Karen Larson. Glad you're with us tonight. In a statement today, Benedict's mother said, "We are thankful for the ongoing support and did not expect the love from everyone." She also apologized for using the incorrect name for Nex.
T News Oklahoma senior reporter Justin Ayer is laying out the new information from school administrators and from Owasso police. He's also talking about the questions leaders still won't answer.
Whether it's family, friends, community members, they all want answers from Owasso Police and the Owasso School District. 2 News has been working for almost a week now to get those answers. I've called the Owasso Police and the school district multiple times, and the response I get from both of them are almost identical every time. And it's that they're waiting on a ruling from the medical examiner's office before any further action could be taken. It's a story community members like Alexandria Davidson say they can't wrap their head around.
What are we supposed to do about that? Besides grief?
Both the Owasso Police and the school district say they're doing everything in their power to not disrupt the investigation, which is why they say the information's been limited as they wait for an autopsy report and toxicology results. But on February 20th, the Owasso schools say the, quote, altercation that took place in the bathroom lasted less than 2 minutes and was broken up by other students and a staff member who were there. As a former Owasso High student, Davidson says she's furious.
The school really needs to step up because they have protocols in place, but I've never seen them use it.
After the students involved walked on their own to get aid, school staff say they determined an ambulance wasn't needed, but one student's parents was recommended they bring their child to a hospital. We later found out Dagny Nex Benedict died the next day. Owasso Police.
Now, this is a little strange. This is the young trans woman. This is the young trans woman. She lost her life, but it was after the next day of the altercation. And they're still investigating this, but she did end up losing her life. They said it was because of brain damage, but the investigation is still going on. I'll keep it at that.
Dagny Nex Benedict died the next day. Owasso Police said on February 20th, detectives have and are interviewing school staff and students and will submit the investigation to the Tulsa County DA's office for prosecution review. Police say it's the department's policy to not release incident reports for cases that are under active investigation when there is risk of compromising or harming the investigation. But they do want to ensure the public they understand people's concerns and are making sure the case is being investigated thoroughly. Justin Ayer, 2 News, Oklahoma.
We did reach out to the Oklahoma Board of Education on this matter.
2 News.
Wow. Poor soul.
Oklahoma.
We did reach out to the Oklahoma Board of Education on this matter. State Superintendent Ryan Walter says his office has committed all resources from OSDE to assist Owasso Public Schools during this tragedy. He says they're awaiting full results of the ongoing investigation from Owasso Police.
And going in depth now with that statement from Nex Benedict's mother. Sue Benedict says, "We are sorry for not using their name correctly. And as parents, we were still learning the correct forms. Please do not judge us as Nex was judged. Please do not bully us for our ignorance on the subject."
She went on to say Nex gave us that respect and we're sorry in our grief that we overlooked them. I lost my child. The headstone will have the correct name of their choice.
New at 6, we're learning about a candlelight vigil this week for Nex. It's happening this Sunday at 6:30 at Redbud Festival Park.
Pray for your kids. Pray for your sons, your daughters. Pray for their minds. Pray that they get healing. I'm praying for this family. I know there's nothing that I can say right now to bring back your child, but wow, this one is sad. This one is sad. Hopefully the investigation comes back and they find out exactly what they need to know out of it. We'll hear more about what happens. We'll stay in tune to this story right here, because that one was a very, very interesting one. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Let me know y'all thoughts about that in the comments. Man, pray for your kids, man. Pray for your kids and teach your kids and let them know that you'll always be there for them. But let them know that you are also the parent and they have to listen to you. They got to listen to you. Whether they like it or not, they got to listen to you. They got to hear your side of the story, and you got to hear their side of the story too. But do your best to raise them the way that you would like them to be raised. Because if you, as a parent, slip up, it's going to be very easy for someone else to get them. It's going to be very easy for someone else to influence them into something that they might not actually be. Pray for your kids. Pray for your kids. We're going to move on to the next subject, though. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream. We're going on to this next video, and I feel a lot differently about this one. We're sticking on to the transgender topic because these stories, we just got to have the conversation. We got to have the conversation. And apparently a county had banned transgender athletes from competing in female sports. It's called Nashua County. And they signed a bill today to make sure that trans women cannot compete against women. Let's tune into the video.
Transgender athletes banned from competing in girls' sports in more than 20 states, and now you can add New York.
Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman signed an executive order for county facilities. He says it's needed to be fair to female athletes, but advocates are outraged. CBS 2's Carolyn Gussoff covers Long Island and joins us live from a county facility in Eisenhower Park. Carolyn?
Good evening. Critics are blasting the order as unnecessary, divisive, and illegal, and hurtful to already at-risk kids. But Bruce Blakeman says that it's a matter of common sense fairness to women and girls who play sports at county facilities like this one. The Aquatic Center is among more than 100 Nassau County sports fields and facilities, and with it,
I back New York 100%. I back New York 100%. These little girls should not have to compete with these transgender women. And here's why. Because I know a lot of people will be like, oh, let me know how you feel in the comments. I'd love to know. But a lot of people might be like, no, they have rights too. They should participate with who they identify as. But physically, they don't identify. Regardless of how they choose to call themselves, that doesn't mean that they're physically that. Physically, men are still competing against women in the sense. Well, let's continue.
his signature, County Exec Bruce Blakeman has banned transgender players from competing against girls in all of them.
If there is a league or a team that identifies or advertises themselves to be women's or girls, then biological males will not be able to compete.
Blakeman says he respects all people and male athletes can compete on male or co-ed teams, but this, he says, is about fairness.
It is an unfair advantage for someone who is a biological male to compete against a biological female.
He was applauded by girls and their moms.
Our biological differences are undeniable. It's setting standards that females can't biologically get to.
It's been a heated debate among record-breaking swimming achievements by college transgender swimmer Leah Thomas. Competitors protested.
See, Leah Thomas, she's one of them. Leah Thomas was a woman who competed against, Leah Thomas was a man who competed against women because he decided to transition and say that he was a woman now. And he absolutely killed everything. The woman had no chance. He ended up beating them by over 50 seconds. That's how much better he was than they were. And there's nothing wrong with being as obviously men's sports are more entertaining than women's sports. Not all men's sports, but men's sport is more entertaining because men are more physical, we're more athletic. We're just built that way. It's just natural like that. And women are more softer, they're more feminine, and it's natural. They're not going to be as hard as the men. They're not going to be as physical as the men. And we understand this. So I applaud this governor for putting his foot down and standing on what people actually believe in. The answer to this nonsense is to put transgender women in their own sports. Let them compete against each other. The same way women compete against each other, the same way men compete against each other, transgenders that identify with transgenders, they should compete against each other. Just keep it like that. And there won't be nothing much to talk about.
Now it's the trans community protesting Blakeman, calling the order political, discriminatory, and unnecessary.
This is using public property to discriminate against a very vulnerable group of people who are already under attack.
Critics say requiring girls who are transgender to compete on boys' teams will keep them from playing altogether. What's needed is not division, but education.
The gender is in your brain. They think differently. They feel differently.
How is gender in your brain? Yes, you think differently too. Gender is not in your brain. It's a part of their life. It's life. It's facts. It's biology. Regardless of what you do to your body, how you are born is the way you were born. It's God, how God created it.
They are women. They're not men.
This is an issue of respect, human rights. This is an issue about preventing suicide among adolescent transgender.
Where's my guy's neck? Where is his neck? That's what you should be worried about. You shouldn't be worried about what these transgenders is doing. You should be worrying about what you doing with that mouth. Holy.
Population.
Under the order, sports leagues must now submit documentation of their players' biological sex at birth. Blakeman says the order was not political, but was prompted by requests from concerned parents. Meanwhile, the Office of New York State Attorney General Tish James is calling this deeply dangerous. She says that her office is now reviewing their legal options. In East Meadow, Long Island, Carolyn Gussoff, CBS 2 News.
Okay, Carolyn, thank you. And nationwide, at least 24 states have laws banning transgender athletes.
These are all the states that are banning transgender athletes from competing with each other. Wow. Massachusetts is not one of them, of course. But there's a lot of states that are on this board that agree with the governor of New York, who just passed this bill. That county, at least. I respect it.
From participating in sports. That's according to the Movement Advancement Project. It's a nonprofit LGBTQ think tank. Last year, House Republicans passed a bill banning transgender athletes from competing in girls or women's sports teams at federally supported schools and colleges. President Biden promised to veto the measure if it passed the Senate, but it did not. And we have more information on our website, cbsnewyork.com, and continuing coverage coming up on CBS 2 News at 6.
So the Republicans are all about the LGBTQ. Not the Republicans, the Democrats. I see that now. The Democrats are all about it. Yeah, I completely agree with that governor. I can't lie. I think that he made the right choice, in that they have to make a decision on how they want to handle this situation, how the world actually wants to handle this situation, because it's not okay if women are not allowing, uh, are not accepting this in their sports. If women are accepting it in their sports, then that's one thing. But if women just want to compete with women, we have to do something about it. We have to do something about it. We can't just keep talking about it. But thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all viewership. We got some more topics to talk about. Let me know how you guys felt about that one down below. That was an interesting one. And like I said, I actually agree. I actually agree with this guy. I actually agree with. We're gonna get into this next topic, and we're gonna stay on this same topic. We got one more topic that we want to get into, and I want to show you this, guys. This family, I can't understand how people could be so dumb. I can't understand how people could be so dumb. I mean, I want y'all to look at this, right? We're gonna break this story down. A Canadian family moved to Russia to escape wokeness and LGBTQ plus people, and it didn't go well. This is the couple right here. They are diehard Christians, and they were to the point to where they wanted to move out of the Canada as a whole and go to a place that does not accept LGBTQ community. That's how diehard Christian they are, right? And the place that they chose to go out of all the places is Russia, who is in a big war right now. They moved their entire family out in Russia, and guess what happened? They seized all of their money. Let's read this. Let's read this this article, and let's tune in. We didn't feel safe for our children and their future anymore, said Christian, dad of 8, on Russian state TV. There's a lot of left-wing ideology, LGBTQ plus trans, that just a lot of things that we did not agree with, and they teach them there now. And they want to get away, and we wanted to get it away from our children, which he has the right to want to do that. He has the right to want to do that. If he feels like he doesn't want to be in the same state as an LGBTQ community person, he has the right to move out of that state. Go somewhere that you don't that doesn't accept it. If you're that die, if it affects you that much, buddy, you do that. He also explained that their parents hadn't wanted the couple to leave Canada. It's almost like they knew best. When he was not horse riding, when he's not horse riding shirtless, Vladimir Putin is currently pushing to rebrand Russia as a safe space for traditional conservatives. And it seems the Dutch Canadian family were not early takers. So they go down to Russia, and now they are stuck there with no money. It would have been a great idea for them to learn Russia before they went. Yes, in the middle of war, people. But did they do that? No, they did not. They were naive on that. I needed to use the washroom, and on the door it said male, female, but I didn't know which one it was. This article is a little confusing too. In America, that would be a problem. It's free for all in the bathrooms, but now in our world, it matters. Her husband added. In a YouTube episode titled "Our First Week in Russia," um, our Arend showcased the hospitality that the local people were living in their district had shown the clueless family who had brought enough cold weather clothes. They hadn't even brought enough weather. They didn't even come prepared. They said, well, screw what y'all talking about in Canada. We don't want to be here. That's exactly how they acted about this. The locals donated snowsuits for the children and even helped them with their language issues. All 10 of them, all 10 of the family are currently living in a 2-bedroom apartment after failing to find a farm. Is this guy dumb or is he dumb? Unfortunately, no amount of kindness from strangers can make up the significant financial problems. Something the Feenstra encountered because who knew Visa or MasterCard don't work there? Oh, yeah, because they were seized from the United States and Canada. They were seized a long time ago when they started this war. Oh, you forgot. You forgot. And authorities closed the Russian account that they moved their money into due to it being a suspiciously high sum amount of money with no explanation of where it came from, similar to anti-money laundering laws. This ought to be the dumbest family that we have seen in a while. I mean, it can't. They deserve it. They deserve an Oscar. You can make a movie out of this. These people are just dumb. You're telling me that you let someone in your neighborhood affect you so much just because you disagree with them that you decided to pack your 8 kids and your wife and travel to a country that is in a war just because they don't accept LGBTQ community? Y'all are dumb. Y'all are dumb. Arguing for their money proved incredibly challenging since Russia does not require any bank or any businesses to hear English translators because we're at war. They don't speak French either. This caused a fairly significant tantrum. Oh my gosh, by the YouTuber posted on YouTube by Anissa and then deleted. I can't believe these people actually documented this nonsense too. I'm very disappointed in this country at this point. Well, you wasn't disappointed before they went to war? She said, about a snag that could have possibly been solved in advance with a quick Google search. I'm ready to jump on the plane and get out of here. We're hit with the first snag where you have to engage logic in this country, and it's very, very frustrating. She complained. It seemed that criticism caught the eye of the Russian handlers, and they presumably had their knuckles wrapped as soon as they soon issued a clarification. After reading the article, said they said that they were disappointed with Russia. We decided to remove our video. You know why? Because they didn't want to go up. They didn't want to end up missing. They didn't want to end up missing. Sorry, y'all. I still have a recovering for COVID, so Jesus. Might have to get some water. It seems that criticism had come. Russia had become increasingly unsafe for LGBTQ community people since November 30th of 2023. Forgive me, y'all. Forgive me. But we're gonna end this story right here because we could see what happened. We could see what happened. This couple should deserve Donkey of the Day. They deserve Donkey of the Day. There's some idiots right here. There's some idiots. But we're going to get into this next topic. I'm going to go get some water real quick. I will be right back, y'all. Sheesh. Hey. Y'all still with me? Y'all still with me? I had to get some juice, man. Wow. I had to get some juice. Shout outs to COVID for taking me out. Shout outs to COVID. Man, I needed that though. Let's move on, man. Let's move on to the next topic. We gonna take this one to a Christian private school had kicked out a couple people for this OnlyFans situation. Let's tune into this video and we're gonna give our opinion on what's going on with this.
New details surrounding the OnlyFans drama in Lake County. A total of 8 kids are now kicked out of a Christian prep school in Tavares after a mom's complaint about another woman's OnlyFans decal goes viral. We first told you about Michelle Klein, who had that decal on her vehicle. Her 2 kids were kicked out last week.
Now, the mom who complained in the first place says that her kids are also being punished after she spoke out. Fox 35's Marlisa Goldsmith joins us live in the Alert Center to explain why. Marlisa.
Yeah, John, today we spoke with that mother who initially complained about another parent having that OnlyFans decal on the back of her car that you see right here in this video.
She's getting mad publicity right now, and I know y'all thirsty men need to get to the web. I gotta see this one. Y'all are some nasty perverts. Nasty people.
Well, that mom says she was just venting about what she saw in the school pickup line. But now, because of her vocal social media post, all 6 of her kids have been expelled. It started with this video posted on TikTok.
So I am coming on here to vent.
Lake County mom Lexi Thomas upset about this car in the pickup line at Liberty Christian Prep School in Tavares.
I'm stunned. I'm shocked. I was disgusted. Like, why am I looking at this?
The car had.
If I got my kids in a Christian school, I expect the same thing. I don't expect no teacher, no mother, no father, no family member to be pulling up to my Christian school where my Christian beliefs are straight and we stand on what we believe. We don't want none of that pulling up to the school. That's what we are trying to get away. That's why we went to the Christian school. If we wanted to see this, we could have gone to the public school.
Has an OnlyFans decal on it advertising a site that includes pornography.
Text him and I said, yeah, this is not cool. We're gonna do something about this.
And that set off a social media firestorm and led to the school expelling the 2 children of the mom driving around with the OnlyFans ad. We spoke with Michelle Klein last week.
I don't feel like I should be judged for what I'm doing.
Now Thomas tells Fox 35 her 6 children have been kicked out of the school too because she aired her complaints on social media. This is the letter Thomas provided.
Why do you think you're being judged if you're at a Christian school? The Christian school has rules. If you don't like the Christian school rules, why are you bringing your kids to this Christian school? Christians don't promote pornography. Christians do not promote pornography. And you're literally promoting pornography like that's a Christian thing to do. It's just common sense at this point. I mean, seriously, y'all. Seriously.
Fox 35. It says in part, a student may be expelled as a result of a parent or student causing unresolved disharmony and conflict with staff or other parents. Thomas says she disagrees and says she was just venting about what she saw on the school pickup line.
I think they created disharmony within the community by allowing for pornography to be advertised for 2 years on private Christian school grounds.
Thomas's letter, signed by the head of the school, goes on to say, Matthew 18, starting in verse 15, tells Christ followers how to approach conflict with other believers. LCPS believes that standard was not met, which led to your concerns being made public worldwide.
Yeah, because she believed that the entire world should have this conversation. And there's nothing wrong with that. I agree with what she did. It's not okay for you as a Christian school to not do anything about this situation if you stand on your morals and your values. A lot of y'all Christians out here are not really standing on your morals and values, and you call yourself Christians. She's one of them that stands on her morals and values. If you're going to be a Christian school, stand on what you stand on. Stand on what you stand on.
When we asked the private Christian school for an interview on Monday, a spokesperson said, no comment. Now a total of 8 children, 2 from the original OnlyFans complaint, and now Thomas's 6 kids have all been expelled this month.
I feel like
all the kids are expelled now. All the kids. That mom messed up her son's future, her daughter's future, and this mom had to pay the price too. And she got 6. This is the one that reported this mess. She got 6 kids. Now all of them is probably home, being homeschooled. And sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to do that. If you're really trying to make sure you protect your kids, from stuff that you don't want them to be in, aka pornography, aka gangs, aka whatever you feel. If you want your kids to become how you want them to become, you have to teach them the right way. In other words, that's all I'm saying. You have to teach them the right way and stand on what you stand on. Don't let anybody shake you nor break you.
As a Christian institute, you have to make a stand for biblical truth if that's what you're going to proclaim.
Thomas says she doesn't regret venting on TikTok.
I'm angry because I feel like if this has been a running problem, then this is a threat to my children's innocence.
Now, the school letter that Lexi Thomas received says if she refrains from further gossip and removes her references about this on social media, then school officials will set a time to discuss next steps about re-enrollment. Lexi says her content is going to stay up. She is not taking down her truth. Live in the
Yeah, then she can go somewhere else. We ain't doing that there. We ain't doing that there. We ain't doing that there. And she got a lot of promotion off of this now. This video right here, she got a lot of promotion, so she probably just made a whole new bag. And this is the sadness that happens when you sell your body for money. Selling your body all over the internet for money to thirsty men. That is disgusting, and that's the devil. That's the devil. And this is a Christian school, so that don't rock here. We ain't doing that here. We ain't doing that here. I agree with the mother that reported this issue. It's been happening for over 2 years. We don't do that at Christian schools. And the mother that is still doing this, still wants to be out there on the streets with her husband and being all over the internet. I hope your children grow up to be mentally stable. I hope. That's the best thing I can say. I hope y'all get the help y'all need. I hope y'all get all the money in the world that y'all want. But y'all cannot go to school there. Take that somewhere else. Christians, stand on what you got to stand on. Take that somewhere else. Let's move on. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all viewership, man. We're going to get into a couple more videos, and then we're going to get out of here. This one is another topic that I just don't understand why people would still want to go to Russia right now. Like every time I think about it, I'm like, would I ever go to Russia? Ever again? Like in my life, would I ever think of traveling to Russia after what is happening right now? No matter if I have family over there, would I, Diedrich Douglas, or Dgotsauce from Boston, would I take my behind and travel to Russia? No. The answer is hell no. But there are still people out here risking their lives trying to go to Russia for some odd reason. And this one happens to be an American / Russian dual citizenship, dual citizen. And she's a ballerina that lives in the United States. Let's tune into the video, y'all. I can't believe people are really still out here risking it all to go to Russia when they are in a mid-war with the U.S. especially. Did y'all forget what happened to Brittany Griner? Y'all forget we had to give back the Merchant of Death for Brittany Griner? Who y'all think who y'all think Putin's gonna ask for this one?
Russian dictator Putin has a new American hostage today. She's a ballerina charged with treason. Her crime, donating $51.80 to a Ukrainian charity.
$51.80 to Ukrainian charity, and this is why she's locked up.
Ksenia Karolina moved to the USA about 10 years ago to pursue her dreams of becoming a ballerina, posing for these striking images on the Brooklyn Bridge. The 33-year-old became a proud U.S. citizen in 2021. She now lives in Los Angeles and works as a manager at this spa in Beverly Hills. Ksenia traveled to Russia to visit her family, a decision her former mother-in-law says she may live to regret.
I was asking myself, why did she go? Why did she go? I am worried about her physical being because she's a little teeny tiny, very gentle lady.
Putin is making the most of his prize, parading Ksenia on state TV, a white wool hat pulled over her eyes. Bill Browder is an expert on Russian affairs.
We done forgot what happened to Brittany Griner, I'm guessing. We done forgot what happened to Brittany Griner when she brought the weed pens over to Russia. And she was locked up over there for months, almost a whole year. We thought she was not coming back. But they had to do a prisoner swap, and that was the only way. So, who do you guys think? Which Russian warlord is going to be released now? Who's the next Russian warlord that we got locked up already that Putin wants back?
She's like a trading chip. They just grab people who might be sympathetic, hostages that the American public would be sympathetic towards, and keeps them as trading fodder.
Oh, Mother Russia. Last night on The Daily Show, Jon Stewart mocked Tucker Carlson for marveling at how cheap a week's worth of groceries was in Moscow compared to here in the U.S.
It was $104 US. Seeing what things cost and how people live, it will radicalize you against our leaders. That's how I feel anyway. Radicalized.
Radicalized. And it will radicalize you unless you understand basic economics. See, $104 for groceries sounds like a great bargain unless you realize Russians earn less than $200.
I watched that whole Tucker Carlson interview, and I feel like Tucker Carlson just went over there to let Putin explain exactly what he was doing and why he was doing it. He didn't really challenge him, and you know why? Because I feel like if he did challenge him, he would have never came back to the United States. I mean, Tucker Carlson would have never been able to travel back to wherever he needed to go. He would have been a dead man, in other words.
A week.
Donald Trump continues to take heat from Nikki Haley for failing to condemn Putin for the mysterious sudden death of heroic Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. She's trailing badly in the polls ahead of Saturday's South Carolina Republican primary.
There's no proof to that. There's no proof to that, Nikki. There's no proof to that. Let me know how you guys feel about this down in the comments below, man. Would you ever travel to Russia? At this point in time, would you ever travel to Russia? Like, actually think to yourself, what could I possibly be doing in Russia? Let's remember Brittany Griner. That's all I want to say. Let's remember. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream. I appreciate y'all viewership. We got one more video to talk about. And boy, this one is a sad one. This one is a sad one. Brockton, Massachusetts, their high school is trash. The parents of these baby kids are trash. Trash to the point to where they're having sex in the hallways. They're having so much brawls and fights that people are getting stabbed. And one teacher tried to break up a fight one time and he got his arm broken off. And now they're at the point to where they're asking for the National Guard to step in. Who is raising these kids? Where are the kids' parents? How do you guys let your kids get to this point? How? How? When is it going to stop? We already know. We already know. A lot of these people are probably kids from single parent households. They probably kids that smoke a lot of weed, don't do their homework, skip class. And the teachers are to the point where they are fed up and they can't do nothing about it. They're asking for National Guard, the Army, to come in to the classrooms. Listen, this is the first time ever a high school has been asked for this thing to happen. When are we going to get it together, people? When are we going to get it together? Stop allowing y'all kids to raise themselves and be in these echo chambers that is going to bring them to pure chaos at the end of the day. It's either going to end them, they're either going to end up in jail. And I guess it's because I'm a grown adult now. Because when I was a kid, I was a troublemaker too, but I wasn't doing this for sure. I wasn't doing none of this stuff. When are y'all gonna start telling y'all kids, yo, we the parents, you have to listen to your teachers. You have to listen to your parents. I couldn't go to school, disrespect my teacher, and go home and look my parents in the face. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. It don't matter if I was 16. It don't matter if I was 11. It don't matter if I was 5. If my teacher told my dad anything, my mom anything that they did not like, the belt came out real quick. A lot of y'all are afraid to beat y'all kids. But shoot, if they a baby kid, they might just need it. They might just need it. We got to tighten up in Brockton, Massachusetts. This is insane. They are calling for the National Guard. Let's tune into the video, y'all. This is crazy.
Shocking levels of chaos and violence at a high school. In Massachusetts, students at one high school are so out of control, educators aren't just calling the police, they're calling in the National Guard.
We're looking for support with the National Guard to come in and act as substitute teachers, hall monitors to make sure that the high school is safe.
We're just looking for a little bit of support within Brockton Public Schools. But we're not asking them to deploy a whole army to our school. We're asking for support, especially with the teacher shortage throughout Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
We need more staff to support our staff and help the students, learn, have a safe environment.
Teachers say students are having sex, doing drugs, and have even started violent brawls that have resulted in students being stabbed. Here now, committee member from that high school, Tony Rodriguez. Tony, good to see you, and thank you for being with us.
This is down the street from me, bro. This is down the street. And honestly, if I was a teacher, I'd gather all the teachers and say, we ain't doing this shit. We ain't doing this shit. They gotta get this shit under control. We ain't showing back up here unless these parents get it together. Get their kids together. The kids are running the school. That's what's going on over there. The kids are running the school. And I know, obviously, we all know that it's not every kid. There are kids actually going there to learn. And that's the stupid part about this, because they don't get the opportunity to do that. They're not getting the opportunity to do that. And it's gotta stop.
Just talk to us how bad the school has gotten. What's happening where you're now asking for the National Guard to come in and keep the peace?
It's chaotic when we have students that basically are in the school thinking that it's a playground. Lack of discipline. It starts at home. The deficit kind of put a big hamper on us in making sure that we have a safe learning environment with the teacher shortage that we have because of the massive layoffs that we dealt with last fiscal year.
Is everybody on board with this, Tony, to get the National Guard in? Is there pushback from other committee members? What's been, the response from Governor Healy on this?
We drafted a letter. There was 4 of us that drafted a letter. We requested a meeting of safety last month where we brought the educators in to basically shine a light on what's really going on at the high school. So we gave them that platform, and they spoke from the heart. And what they're dealing with is discouraging. It's sad that we have educators that can't go inside the building and give these kids the proper education, and students are losing education time. Students not showing up to school. The staff, we have 20 to 25 teachers that are calling out on a daily basis, and that leaves roughly about 800 students that are unsupervised in the building, and we can't continue to just.
Yeah. If I was a teacher going to this school, I understand. I'm not going to be dealing with this. I didn't come here to raise these kids. They should already get it together. We're here to teach. The parents. It's the parents' fault. The reason why these kids are going crazy, it's not because of the teachers. It's the parents' fault. It starts with the parents. It starts with how they're being raised at home. We cannot allow these kids to raise themselves because it don't work out ever. It's never going to work out.
Just let it go this way. So that's why we reached out to the governor to make sure she can activate the National Guard, because at this time we just can't continue having meetings on top of meetings. We need corrective action now, and it has to happen sooner than later.
Tony, I'm a parent. You send your kids to school, and it's supposed to be a safe place. But it appears that in this school, whether it's the brawls, the stabbings, the sex, the drugs, all things most parents try to keep their kids away from, they're actually getting at the school system. So those who don't want the National Guard to come and keep the peace, do they have another plan on how you remedy the school and make it a place that's safe for kids to go to?
We have to have the bodies inside of the school.
Yeah.
Right now what you do is, when you have a lot of educators not in the building or staff, these kids are free to, roam. And what do you think these teenagers are going to do? It's a free for all. The plan is to request the National Guard. At this time, it's very critical. We can't, just wait to figure out a plan. We've been discussing this. It's March is next week. School year is going to end shortly, and we just can't keep having meetings over meetings. Like I stated, right now, the quickest and safest way is to get the National Guard. There's a census of, the military coming into school. We're not trying to militarize our school. It's to make sure that it's safe. We've used the military.
Honestly, no, you guys should militarize it. It's the jungle over there. They got to get in order. You cannot allow these kids to run the school. Cannot allow it. They're here for an education. They're here to be great. We're here to. Some kids are here to get an education. Some kids are here to be great. Some kids are here to actually become successful, get a career, learn something. And for these terrible bad apples, if they don't want to be in school, put them somewhere else. It starts at home. It starts at home. We have to do a better job with raising our kids from home. We have to make it easier for the teachers so our kids can actually learn when they're actually going to school. Not go to school just to fight, have sex, and smoke drugs. This is insane what's going on in Brockton, Massachusetts. It's insane. Get it together. This is trash.
Across the country to, for COVID relief with vaccines and being substitute teachers, hall monitors. That's what we're requesting right now, is to make sure that we have enough bodies in the building, to make sure that we don't have students that are walking outside, kids that are not authorized to be in the building. We have students ordering DoorDash. It's unacceptable. And
Yo, how can you order DoorDash? Oh my gosh. How you ordering DoorDash? How you do that? So you're just able to just walk outside your school, get your stuff, go back in, sit down in your classroom or your lunch table and eat your lunch? That wasn't a thing in high school. That wasn't a thing in no school back then. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. We got to do better. It starts at our house. It starts with the kids. It starts with the parents. We have to raise our kids to be better. If y'all are seeing this and y'all kid is one of these kids that's been fighting, one of these kids that's been ordering DoorDash, talk to your kid and let them know this is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. 800 kids being unsupervised in Brockton. They need help over there. I say disperse whoever you got to disperse. But at the end of the day, even if they're in the schools, the bad apples are still going to do their thing. And it starts with the parents, dog. It starts with the parents. You can only do so much as a teacher. You can only do so much as a National Guard, as a police officer. If your kid wants to be a baby kid, he's going to be a baby kid. If you raise a baby kid, you're going to get a baby kid. If you're a baby parent, Pookie and Ray Ray, these is the Pookie and Ray Ray Juniors. It's so trash. It's so trash. Thank you guys for tuning in, though. I appreciate y'all viewership, man. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream. That was our last video of the night. I appreciate y'all for tuning in with me. Make sure you hit the notifications if you guys want to see me live and in person in real time. I stream on Twitch and I stream on YouTube. I don't have a set time, but I do like to come on here at least 3 to 4 times a week and just go over a few topics that been on my mind and that are trending and give our opinion on it, man. And I'd like to hear y'all opinion on these things too. So make sure you guys leave your comments down below. I post every day on YouTube, so keep your eyes out on those videos and make sure you guys comment your thoughts on those videos too. I appreciate y'all viewership. If you got here this far, put something in the chat if you did make it this far. If you didn't, oh well. You just watching this. I love you guys. And thanks for watching. Tune in the next show. I love you. And until next time, peace.